Wow, good morning, guys. Sorry I am late today. I had an interesting morning with my daughter today. We'll just say number 2 came up quite a bit. What's going on, guys? Good morning. The SPY is moving quite well today. 566 is coming into play. I cannot believe the SPY fucking broke out above the high of yesterday. Hey, I tried to keep it light, Mason. The SPY is breaking out above the high from yesterday. Looking very well here. 566 coming into play. We're seeing some pretty good overall price action to the upside. The SPY is not really getting an insane enough move in my eyes, though, at the very moment for a continuation. Of course, if we break the high of day, then all bets are on, right? If we get a nice run going. Right now, it looks like it is in a bit of a pullback so far this morning. About 4 minutes in, 5 minutes in, apparently. We are pulling back a little bit. The SPY is seeing a little bit of chop here at the open. The big thing for today would be holding 564, of course. Hopefully the SPY can keep holding that up very nicely. That would be perfect. Looking at the watch list today, lots up in the green. ASTS, 12%. Wow, they are really rocketing today, up to $26. That is a fire move here. ASTS can have some amazing information. Some amazing price action, I meant to say. 12.12%, quite the move. $26. Very nice green candles here at open today. HIMS, 4.3%. Jumping around quite a bit. 37.60. They were up a lot this morning. They did pull back a little bit after the first couple candles there. AAL moving around as well. Very nice price action today. A lot better than HIMS with the pullback. But we'll see how things shake out by the end of the day. GTA 6 postponed to May 2026. TTWO down. Is that really sending Take-Two down today? Wow. Yeah, quite a bit. Quite a bit. Wow, they postponed it again. Can you imagine? Wow. TTWO. I still like it for the long term. GTA 6 postponed. That's always fun. They postpone that thing like every year. Yeah, May 26, 2026 instead of fall 2025. Uh-oh. I wonder if they're just going to do it on the new consoles. What do you think? There are some new consoles, of course, in the talks. They just came out with the PS5 Pro. So SNY should be pretty, or SNE should be pretty close towards the PS6 at this point if they have the PS5 Pro coming out. I remember whenever the PS4 Pro came out, they came out with the PS5 not very far after. Not that it has to work out just like that again, but definitely something to think about. Oh, shit. Yeah. Mason said the prices of the consoles just went up. The new one's going to be like $1,000. All the games just went to $80. Man, I would not be surprised. And honestly, I think it's a good thing. You know, I don't mind spending the $1,000, so I'm just like, hey, let's have some good stuff, right? I'd rather have it be able to play 4K 60 frames and all that good jazz with all the DLSS and who knows what turned on, you know. Pew Pew said just build a PC. That's true. That's true. You know, that makes sense. That's why we got him, you know. But I kind of welcome it, you know, bring in better hardware. Let's get some better stuff going on. I don't mind if the PS at the PlayStation's like $1,000. Only it'll remain the same low quality despite the higher price. You know, that's probably the truth though, Fab, right? Probably the truth. Palantir, I know, right, Tangi? I'm sitting here like, wow, Palantir is like 4%, right around the recent high, $121. This is a huge level on Palantir. Looks like it's about to try to go for a break as well. That is huge. $121. Damn. Can't believe the way Palantir is moving here. Believe it or not, Palantir is up 60% this year. In 2025, really? That is a crazy stat. I would have not believed you. But, you know, thinking about it, they have done better than most. So, yep, they are. He wasn't lying. Or they weren't lying. Sorry, Coconut. Bob Bear, pump it up, Palantir. Palantir's on fire. We're going to be at new all-time highs with Palantir in a second. If we could get a good green day like we had on Wednesday, or like we had last Thursday, man, Palantir will be up into the heavens. Seriously, up into the heavens. Sounds good, Coconut. You never know, right? You never know. If it's not the case, then people get angry. What's up, Kevin? The Reddit fake out? Man, that is pretty insane to see, honestly. Reddit was on fire last night. And I mean, in an insane fashion to the upside, hitting 143. That is pretty funny. From the bottom of after hours to the top, it was up 21%. That is nuts there to see it pull back. Spot 5% day off some news, off something with Apple. Doesn't seem too important, but not too sure, Ryan said. You know what? I'll tell you what. The price action looks fantastic. This has to be something pretty good here with Spotify. SPOT. They're pretty huge, right? And something with Apple can be huge. They add external subscription link in-app following court's ruling against Apple in Epic Matter. Apple approves app update with external payments link. Ah! Here we go. Here we go. I like this. This is a good piece of news, Ryan. I'll tell you. This is something that, you know, piques our interest a little bit here. An 80-page decision. Now, that doesn't pique my interest at all. An 80-page decision. But Okay, Apple they've been in trouble for like essentially monopolizing their platform a little bit, and they won't allow external payment providers and things of that nature. So on some circumstances, like let's say Spotify here, they want to use their own payment system. Essentially, Apple's doing stuff sometimes to like force people to do like, let's say, Apple Pay, right? I've definitely heard of that before, and it seems like this is something very close to that. I have not looked into it too close. Meeting Epic's conditions would require Apple to drop its global commissions on purchases made outside of the App Store. Yeah, so those global commissions on purchases made outside the App Store, that right there could be what, let's say, forces people to not use an outside payment provider. Because, see, they had global commissions on purchases made outside the App Store. If you use Apple to buy the trading floor, you're going to pay $50 extra because Apple's that dumb. At least you would have. I don't know if it's like that now, but we always say, hey, just use our website instead. Yeah, if you go through Apple, they add some pretty big fees I've seen, and it says that it could deal a major blow to their lucrative services revenue, and that makes sense. This makes sense. I've heard of this before. It makes good sense for Spotify, which is moving to the upside, 6%. Very good movement, breaking out above crucial resistance. I mean, very crucial resistance around 620 to 625. Very large levels. The more I read, the better it sounds. Sometimes it's like that. Other times it's not, but in this case, it definitely makes me happy with Spotify. And I'll tell you what, Spotify is in quite the setup here. On the daily chart, I would not be surprised to see it run up. Maybe $700, somewhere like that in the short term. Would be pretty cool. SPOT. Pretty fun, Joe Rogan, right? Let's go back to Tessie, pulling back a bit, bouncing off 288. 290 was the peak pretty much yesterday. Very close there. Going to be watching 280 as support as it pulls back. Hopefully we don't get to there. There is a good gap to fill, I gotta say. I'm sure somebody out there is like, Tom, the gap's going to fill. These gaps don't always fill, but if we do start to see a breakdown, it wouldn't be a bad target to 278. NVA pullback. NVA. Nova Minerals Limited. What the? Oh, you meant to say NVDA. I'll tell you what, NVA doesn't look too bad, I gotta say. Nova Minerals, I don't know what you did, Jesly. Maybe this is a grace from the stock trading gods right here. This might be a grace from the stock trading gods as it's sitting around $16. NVA. Nova Minerals. This is pretty funny. Total accident. Meant to type in NVDA. We found Nova Minerals here, which is holding its support extremely well. It looks like it wants to try to go for a breakout here. This is pretty funny, I gotta say. Total accident to switch on to this one. I know Trump said that thing a few days ago about signing a minerals deal. I gotta say, if NVA has some news with the Trump mineral thing, I'm gonna die of laughter. It doesn't, though. No news since July of last year on Thinkorswim. That's how much this one moves. Very interesting, though. I must say. Very interesting. Looks like they IPO'd last year. Wow. It's not all the time you find something interesting on the charts by a mistake. All right. Back to what you actually wanted, though. Nvidia. Looking very good on the daily chart. Whenever you zoom in, of course, there's a big rejection going on. This rejection is at major resistance at 115. Okay, this is a huge resistance in the short term. We can see rejection, 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 another rejection today. This is a tough level to break, 115. At the very moment. Yeah, 115, just tough level today for Nvidia. It's coming back up right now. There's this crazy 1 minute candle. Kind of dumb, but it's going to be testing key resistance again here around 114.50, 114.30. I don't love the green candle, though. Watch it for a slight recovery here, but I'm really watching for more of a rejection here. I don't love that PA so far. I like how it broke yesterday's high, but man, this pullback that we're seeing today since that little peak is kind of rough. I'm not loving it. The opposite of McDonald's slogan here. 564 on SPY. Uh-oh. I was about to say, that's a big resistance testing right now, and it looks like it's confirming to the downside with that nasty drop. This is a big level on the SPY. 564. 565 is pretty big too, but we're under 564 now. And well under 565. YouTube copyright only lets you play AI music. Man, not even that. Sometimes even that's copyrighted. What I'm playing right now actually isn't copyrighted, you know? This is actually a thing called non-copyright sounds, and they, this guy, or whoever does that stuff for them has spent a lot of time, I think, making these videos. Or making these songs. I can't remember who did it, but there's somebody famous behind it. Watch him use AI to make it, though. That would be funny. NCS was my childhood music. Me too, Ryan. I listened to it so much. It's funny now. It's coming back around to help. Pew Pew said it's been one song the whole time. Yeah. It's called Sky High. We'll go to a different one. This should be all right. 562. That's funny. I was talking so much I didn't even realize it was the same song. Wasn't even paying attention to the music. That's funny, Pew Pew. Sorry about that. My mind was not on the music, I guess. 280, bouncing a little bit here. Tesla is going to be testing 280. That's going to be pretty huge in the short term. 280 coming into play. Coconut said, bro, you can make a song with AI in 30 seconds. Hey, make one and send it to me on Discord. I'll listen to it. Don't make it bad, though. I'll be upset. I'm going to test it before I put it live. Come on, Tessie. Testing that low of pre-market. You know, pre-market bounces happened at 281, and we are seeing the bounce at 281 right now. This is pretty good price action here at support. Watch for that gap to fill, though. That's what's going to be the crazier move. See, we could hold support, move up a little bit, and then fill towards the gap later. It's possible. Tom, how you feel about DraftKings right now? Too aggressive to re-enter here? The Tangi, I'm sure you're talking about long-term here. I think it's a pretty good time, actually. Especially if you're averaging in. 33 is not terrible. You know, 33 is not bad. Now, if DraftKings has an utter disaster, and, like, let's say, like, worst-case scenario, like, they drop back down to, like, let's say worst case, back towards 10, that would be pretty brutal, right here. So that's a 70% drop. So you need to definitely be prepared to average in a little bit, I think, on DraftKings. I actually like running up the wheel on this one, like maybe doing some 30 strike puts, maybe selling some 25s, some 20s, some 15s, some 10s as it drops, if it keeps going. If not, then it's fine. You know, but averaging in here will be the key. But I love the prospect of it potentially holding this key support too. I think it could hold, but at the same time, as we zoom out, it's in a bit of like a lower high pattern here on the daily chart. It does scare me a little bit, and it is a growth stock. And at the end of the day, these types of stocks, well, maybe it's not a growth stock anymore. Not sure what people count it as, but either way, I classify it as one with the way it moves. And at the end of the day, you need to be prepared to average in with it. That's going to be very crucial in my eyes. Yep, I like it as far as a dip buy. Somebody asked me about KTOS in the Discord. That thing is explosive. There was a previous big money play with KTOS, I believe. Going nuts now. Let's look at like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon. Wow. Lockheed Martin looks awesome off this long-term trend line here as well. LMT, perfect bounces. I know that we've looked at this one a lot as it's been low, but looking at it starting to come back to the upside here, it has tested this resistance a lot, and it's starting to break out in a pretty good way. I love to see it. Let's look at RTX. Kanji Man says, I'm loving the defense contractors too. Man, Lockheed Martin. That is one of the best daily charts that I've seen in a while. As far as just following the trend very well, bouncing on it again. This setup is textbook. Like, this is a textbook pattern on the daily. I could totally see this one testing at least like 510, like that recent high. It might not be right away. You know, there might be a little bit of chop mixed in on the way up, but I could see it, you know, starting to break out pretty well here. Lockheed Martin. As far as stocks go, with shares, I mean, I would call it like a pretty easy, like 15% here, if not more, if you hold it fairly quickly. If the trend breaks, I'd cut. Not terrible. Risk reward's not too bad with that. Not great. If you're going long term, I mean, you wouldn't really cut. You would just average in if it did drop, but Lockheed's a pretty formidable company. Love the setup there. Boeing is another one that people have been watching. It's been moving off the trend line as well, right up to resistance, just like Lockheed, actually. Very close to it. Very, very close. So I'm going to delete a lot of these lines real quick. Boeing, very close. Competitor. Also, right at resistance, right on the trend line, looking really good. I know there's been a lot of talk about China not accepting Boeing planes and etc., but at the same time, I know the Trump admin has come out and said that they need to support Boeing, and, you know, Boeing's doing a lot with, they have the, they have a lot going on, actually. What's that new fighter jet? The 47, I believe. Something 47? F-47? Yeah, that's what it was. The F-47. Yep. 6th generation fighter. Boeing won that contract. It's designed to replace the F-22 Raptor by Lockheed. Yeah, the F-47. Pretty cool name. NGAD, Tangi said. F-22 fleet is still barely broken in. Haha. I guess compared to a lot of the other aircrafts in history it is. Maybe this new tech goes bad quicker, I don't know. It is an awesome plane. Guys, it's been around for a long time. Do you guys know how long it's been going for? Guys, they've been making those since 2005. It was introduced in December 15th, 2005. The first flight was September 7th, 1997. Oh my God. Like, apparently that thing started getting made in like the 80s. It first flew in 1990, entered service into 2005. Sounds old. Honestly. It sounds old as hell. "20 years? The 90s is like almost 40 years ago. We're talking 35 years since 1990, guys. That's nuts to say, isn't it? That's older than me. That plane is older than I am. And they're still using it. I feel like if I was playing a military strategy game, I would have switched by now. Honestly. Maybe the cost, though. QQQ up to 488. I like this resistance here. 487, 488 on the QQQ. That's young compared to the F16. Yeah, I know. It is young compared to that, but why are we using such old stuff? I'm glad they're making something new at least. It's about time. Hopefully this AI can help. 487.70, 488 on the QQQ coming into play. Very nice action up here around the top. Yeah, coconut. It's weird to talk about, isn't it? $488. NASDAQ looks awesome right here. Testing the recent high. Going to be breaking out. It looks like SPY bounced pretty good. Pretty close to 562. Like right on support. Back to the upside here in a pretty awesome way. Looking at the 1 minute chart. Very nice movement back. 565 coming into play. Winston said Nvidia breaking 115 today. Breaking out above $115. That would be a pretty good move by Nvidia. I could see it. I'm a bit mixed right now on their setup. It's not a setup that I love necessarily. I feel like they could honestly continue chopping around like this a little bit more. Maybe breaking out more like next week or maybe the middle of the day today, something like that. But for right now, I don't love the way it's chopping around, if I'm being honest. Oh, Tangiman said the new technology can often be fitted to older airframes for less money. You know, that makes a lot of sense, right? Now that makes sense. Out of everything I've heard so far today, that makes the most sense. That could be. It's kind of like a car, right? Let's say you have a nice C6 Corvette from 2005 or 2007 or something like that. You know? Hell, you could just throw some new tech in there. It seems brand new. I'm not comparing apples to apples here. More like apples to pears. But at the end of the day, it's pretty funny. That makes some sense. Let's say you have some fancy AI tech. It makes sense that you could just mount that stuff into those planes, 100%. You put a new screen in maybe, like a new computer system, whatever you got to do. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I got to say. Ton of sense. And that also, I haven't really thought about it that way before. Honestly, not too heavily. I've heard of that with aircrafts, but I didn't know that it was like that pronounced or that widely spread that they do that. Brandon said, that's my job, actually. I work on avionic modifications. Wow, that's really cool. I have some friends that work at Boeing, but it's just like dropping a crate motor and turbo into a 72 Torino. Yeah, exactly. Makes sense. Wow, Tesla, very weird PA. Don't love it. Just like Nvidia, don't love that either. Very choppy. SPY, though, looks actually pretty good. Banks are pretty solid, too. Uh-oh. Grass needs some advice ASAP. Thinking about getting out of my positions on spot. Reckon it'll be very volatile and could go up or just take my earnings and ditch. What are you in, though, Grass? I need to know your position. Let me know the position and I will help you out for sure. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a quick water. Give me 1 sec. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go. Subscribe it up. Hell yeah, baby. Get those subs in. Hashtag subscribe and cancel Tangy. Yes, cancel the Tangy. Yes, sir. That's funny. I love it, Tangy. Hell yeah, guys. This is a separate channel from the nightly one, so get those subs in. Almost there. Drinking some Gatorade this morning. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but you will soon at the gas station. Let me throw up the Mag 7, though, real quick. Okay, Nvidia down. Apple coming back a little bit. Amazon trying to recover. I'm drinking some new Gatorade. It's called Gatorade Mashups. They're putting like 2 flavors into one. Kind of weird. So the one that I'm drinking here is orange mixed with lemon lime. It's a bit strange. It tastes good, but it's weird. Like, I can't pick out which flavor's more pronounced in there. Probably the orange. All right, let's see what Grass had here. It was just a couple day swing trade. Okay, 605. Okay, 605. Couple day swing trade. Is it like with calls, Grass? Like 605 calls? I'm gonna be honest, Spotify looks pretty good. I'm a little bit worried that if you close out totally... Oh, it's straight stock. Ah, okay. So you're sitting at 605 on straight stock right now. Okay. I like hearing that. That makes it easy for me. So you're up like 4.8%. You're up like 6% plus at the high today. It's a big resistance coming up. I'll tell you what, Grass. You know, if you're just trying to scalp it really fast and just take a quick win, I would cut it. But I'm going to be honest, there's a big resistance here that has been broken recently. Very close to 622 to 623. This is a huge level. Today's move is a very bullish sign up above this range. I personally think that Spotify could end up popping a bit more and breaking the recent high even, possibly. Towards like 700 plus, maybe. But it sounds like you're pretty worried about it, so I'm not sure like how it would impact your portfolio if it fell. Like, let's say you're at 605. Like, let's say Spotify fell back down to test recent lows. That would be like a 20% drop. You'd probably be pissed at that, it sounds like, based off how you're already wanting to sell out. So you might be a little bit over leveraged. I'm not sure what's going on emotionally there in your mind, but I would try to hold it, you know, if it makes sense for your account. If it doesn't make sense for your account and you're over leveraged, then don't stay over leveraged and keep holding. Maybe take some profits and hold a little bit. That's never a bad idea. Like, let's say you lock in half or you lock in 75% here, and then you hold like 25% of the position for a bigger gain. That's not a terrible idea either. That's scaling out, which is pretty smart. There's a couple ideas there for you. 7% of the port. Okay, that's not too bad. Just not sure. I get nervous. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, it looks pretty bullish here. It looks pretty bullish. I could see it breaking this, but it's a big resistance, you know? A very big resistance. We'll need to see some good overall recoveries from the market probably too, which we've been seeing, honestly. Really good. SPY today even, right at the high of the day again. Pretty much holding support very well. What do you call a sheep who can sing and dance? What is it, Chase? A ham sandwich walks into a bar and orders a beer. Bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve food here." What? That's funny. Mason, that one's pretty funny, I'll say. Kind of gets you thinking a little bit on that one. Chase said, "Lady Baba." What? Guys, these jokes are getting out of hand here. Cancel Chase, yes. Yes, Tangy, I agree. 280, support bouncing on Tesla. Pretty good hold here and bounce, honestly. Pretty fire to see. Wow, Q's got some get up and go, Tangy Man said. The QQQ, yeah, the NASDAQ has been on fire, seriously. The SPY's been pretty good too. Just about on par with it. Not quite above the high of today yet, but pretty close. The Cancel Club community. The CCC. Cancel Club Community, the CCC. That sounds pretty bad. Let's not say that anymore. Sometimes it's cool, you know. You got like the SEC, for example. It sounds kind of cool, and then other times you have ones that sound kind of bad. I'm gonna say that one sounds a little rough to me. $300, pretty nice. GLD. GLD is around $300 here, trying to reject a little bit. This is a big level on GLD. It's kind of holding under there today, too. Pretty rough. Did you hear the Mona Lisa went to prison? She was framed. Mike. Now that's pretty good. That's not bad, actually. You could use that one as like a stand-up joke or something. Definitely better than the others today. Thoughts on MU, Grass said. Micron. Micron rejecting a lot today at $80 resistance. This is a big resistance on Micron. It's really failing to break this level. Man, 80. Kind of rough to see that rejection. Mason bought the Mona Lisa for $5 on Temu. That's how you do it, man. All right, what does a dad say when he puts the car in reverse? Ah, this takes me back. What? Man, your guys' jokes are making Tom sad today. I liked Mike's, but the rest is making me sad. MU pulling back, though, pretty well. I mean, this looks like a good possible short opportunity. If you're looking for puts, looks like a good put opportunity. In my opinion, very good price action down. It might bounce a little bit, of course, but that 80 resistance is huge. If it re-breaks above this recent high right here, cut. But I could see it pushing down off this. Tesla's still holding 280, which is good for them. Really nice support there. Nvidia, let's see. Rejecting pretty hard. Brutal there. The dad jokes. The lion's gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take. All right, I'm gonna do one with you. For the people, for the land. All right, I got you guys a joke. You ready for my stock market joke of the day? All right. It's Friday, so we're doing our funnies here. The Friday funny. All right. Why did the trader break up with the stock? Because it had too many issues and wouldn't stop going down. That's a pretty funny one there. I don't know how ChatGPT came up with that. Hey. It makes sense. You know, you got to break up with stocks if they keep going down, right? It makes sense. Palantir, 125. We need to save the jokes for red days to cheer us up. Seriously. Seriously, those are the days to do it. Today, though, man, Palantir, 5.8%, 123, touching right now, breaking well and above this recent high. Not above the all-time high, though. Big resistance coming up around 125. This is a big level. Excuse me. What are your levels on Hood? HOOD? Tesla needs to bust out or burst out or break out. AK said bust out. Very nice. 280 support here on Tesla. Pretty nice. Moving back to the upside. I like it. I'll be honest. I think Tesla looks pretty good right now. I like the way that it's moving. Actually, AK, there's this gap to fill down to like 278, which worries me, but I do like the 280 bounce and hold. It's pretty fire. Apple still down 3%. Let's go back to Hood. Very nice PA. Love to see the 5-minute chart here. 46.50 coming into play. 46 bouncing very well. Up to around $50 here. This is pretty insane. Might as well hit 50 today. That would be pretty sick. It's right at 50 already. It could break 50 pretty easily. Already at 50. Bouncing off. Pretty good PA. I like $46 and $47 support here. Looking solid. It might chop between 50 and 47 here, but I think into tomorrow we see some good PA back up. Come on, SPY. Let's get to 570 today. You know, you started to go on this breakout and this run. Now you're pulling back. Quick 1 minute candles. As soon as you broke the high of the day, pulling right back down. What's going on? Come on, SPY. Let's keep the run going. You know, you're up 1.2%. Let's not get into this chop. Let's get some good PA up here. I'm going to be watching this dip very carefully. There's been a series of higher lows going on this whole entire move up. So if SPY keeps on this trend, it's going to need to pretty much hold this red line. If it doesn't hold this red line and it breaks under 565, or more specifically 564.65, then it'll be looking pretty rough. The Mustang GDT set a lap time, maybe a record on the Nuremberg-Ring. It might not be a record, but 6 minutes, 52 seconds. I don't know how that compares to the new Vet or anything, but those new Vets are on fire. Jeez. So driving earlier, I see this K9 jumping on the side of a G-Wagon that's pulled over with 3 Suburbans surrounding it. Drugs or not, police gonna be paying for them scratches. Uh-oh. Man. Mason said, there's so many of the 2020 and newer Vets by me now. It's kind of a pandemic. They're cool, but not that cool. That's why I sold mine, man. You know, I loved it when I first got it, and I thought that it looked awesome, and they're quick and all, don't get me wrong, but they're a little overdone. Whenever you start looking at production numbers and all that stuff, there's so many of them. Like, if you look at Hellcats, you're talking like maybe 1/10 of the amount of these new Vets that are out over like 10 years of time. The new Vets have only been out for 5 years, and it's like they're making 30,000 of them like every single year. And it's like with these Hellcats, it's like they only made like 2,000 a year or something, you know. It's definitely like not apples to apples in that way with the production. You're right, though. There's so many. So many. There's a lot out there. Now they're just like a Ford Explorer. They're everywhere. Yeah, Chase, I had a 2021 Corvette that I bought that had like 2,000 miles on it when I bought it. I bought it like a year ago. Like a year and a half ago, and I sold it about 6 or 7 months later. Yeah, I sold, so I had a 2015 Hellcat and I sold it and I bought the Vet and then I sold the Vet and bought a Hellcat again. I wish I wouldn't have sold my old Hellcat either because it had all the good stuff on it and I just wish I would have kept that. Chase put the Mona Lisa in Discord here. Oh my god. This is the Temu Mona Lisa, guys. That's pretty funny. Spy trying to hold its ground. It's getting very choppy up here at the high of the day. I like the way it's moving, but it's not like breaking out quite yet. Nvidia is holding its ground really well. I actually like Nvidia here for the potential of a dip buy. I love the way it's setting up here. Starting to form a good base at the bottom. Jay said Hellcats are tough to beat. Yeah, they are. If you're on the highway, especially, really tough to beat. Those new Vets are really quick, 0 to 60. But once you're like going 60, it's kind of slow compared to like a Hellcat. Or let's say a higher horsepower BMW or something. It sucks when you're driving like an 80K car and you're getting smoked by 30K cars. It's like, what the fuck? That's how those new Vets are. But if you were on a track, it would smoke those cars around the corners and stuff. But, you know, I don't live by a track. I don't have a track to go, like, race at all the weekend or something. And, you know, maybe when I'm a little older, I'll move somewhere like that. But here, I'll show you guys what Vet I had, okay? All right, this is essentially my car that I had. Like this. This was the Vet. It was this exact color. It had black rims, and it had a black spoiler as well. It wasn't a blue spoiler. It also had black right here instead of blue. But this is what I had. And then this is what I have now. Essentially. I love the Vet, don't get me wrong. It was sick. It was sick. Those Vets also, if you guys don't know, have a lot of problems. I don't know if you guys know how good or bad these new Vets are or not with problems, but they're actually so bad. Like, the headlights, can you see the corner that my mouse is on right now? This, where the headlight meets the car, it will rub and actually ruin your paint. And after like 3 or 4 years, your warranty goes away, and then you have to pay for it yourself, and it's a big pain in the ass. I mean, like, you have to almost replace the whole bumper. It gets so bad. Unless you just put touch-up paint on it or something. Terrible, terrible stuff there. It has a front lift where it'll go up and down to get over, like, bumps and stuff. And that goes out. Very costly if you get out of the warranty. The motor's pretty solid, but the transmission is the worst part of these cars. It's a new transmission. It's a dual clutch transmission. Chevy has never done that before. This dual clutch has so many problems. Like, I'm telling you, like, on the Corvette groups that I was in and everything, it was like problem, like just nonstop. Like, so many of them fail. GM did a bad job with that. And they do all this bull crap where when you get to like 6,000 miles, you have to change the transmission fluid or your warranty's gone. Or you have to do it within 3 years or your warranty's gone. And then if the transmission breaks, it's like 20 grand. I'm not kidding when I say if that transmission breaks in this car, it's like 25,000 to put it in. It costs like 20 grand and it's like another 5,000 for install. It's a pretty bad one. You're playing the big boy game with that car, which is kind of wild if you're out of warranty. I would rather just get a Lambo at that point. if you're talking about that stuff. Yeah, they're all blue. All blue. Chase said, I like blue. Yep. Speaking of that, how's STLA? Stellantis stock has been down a lot recently. I don't know if you guys have known that. Stellantis has been getting crushed. There was a big money play on April 2nd, and it got destroyed even since then. They're not going to be happy, whoever got in that, if they longed it. Yeah. Yeah. I feel you, Mason. I feel you. It's just like, I'm just saying, kind of like when you get to that point, it's like you're getting so expensive, you're just getting up into that realm, if that makes sense. Or pay $2,000 for an oil change? Man, I know, right? The oil change on that Vet was like, I think 300 or something. 300. The transmission fluid, I had to have that changed. It was like $2,000, or it was like 1,500 plus taxes and all that crap on that Vet. QQQ getting up to big resistance on the daily chart. This is going to be a big level to test at like 494 to 495 before 500 comes into play. Going to be crucial here. It's only up to around 490 right now, which means that there's some room to go up to that recent high, which is nice. There's some room here, which is perfect. Looking at Bank of America, bouncing up a little bit towards $41. Nice action today. If it could break there, it'd be perfect. Let's check JP Morgan. Man, those oil changes on those things can be crazy. I've watched videos where they have like 18 oil drain plugs and stuff. It's so weird. Their oil systems are not like normal oil systems. It's a weird system. On the quick American cars, don't get me wrong, they have special oil systems, like oil coolers and all of that, but man, those Lambos and stuff get so weird underneath. I'm not kidding, like look it up. You can watch videos. There's like 12 drain plugs sometimes. It's pretty nuts. Tesla moving here up to 285. I like Tesla's PA. It's been bouncing off 280 very well this morning. I love the way it's setting up for a potential move back to the upside here. This is awesome. Watch for a move towards 290 to 292. This could be pretty crucial here today. Trailed out of RCAT shares with a 12.4% gain. Beautiful week-long trade. Oh my gosh. RCAT is nuts, Tangy. Look at that thing moving this week. It kind of dipped a little bit, and today it just said, see you later. Looking at the daily chart of RCAT, it is on fire. Whoa, what's this? Demonstration? What's this? Why is it red? Magic? I don't remember seeing this demonstration. Hold Alt for temporary drawing. Oh. Oh. Whoa. Whoa, okay. That's pretty new. I haven't seen that. I wonder when they added this. It says new. I don't know how new, but... So hold Alt to draw. That's pretty cool. Can you change the colors? If you press... Wow, so if you press and hold Control, you can do a box. So what if I was on this and I did Control? Okay, you can still do the box. Alt doesn't do anything. The thing I don't like is that it, like... See how it, like, links to these candles and, like, jumps to them? It makes for weird drawings, but... I wish it was just totally smooth. You gotta be quick or else it's locking up. Like, if you go slow, see how it, like... See how it, like, does that weirdness? It's kind of weird. I don't know. 5-minute chart. 580. My gosh, though, Tangy, man. RCAT. What happened today? This is nuts. Is there news? Not really. Grass said, anyone got any swing ideas for next week? I'm really looking at Google in the short term for swings. I love the way Google's setting up on the daily chart for a possible swing trade. I was looking at like 165 strike calls for like July. I think that's more than enough time here. Google looks awesome though. Love the way it's starting to break out. I love Google in the next week. I could see it popping up pretty well. Pretty good earnings too. Tangerman said, no idea. I've just been stacking shares. Selling for small gains on RCAT. Looking for a bargain to double down on that call. But I don't think I'm going to get it cheaper. That might be the case. Looks pretty good right now. You might not end up getting it cheaper. I hope everybody's having a great end to the week here. I know the market might not be moving the way that you want. If it is, great. If not, then just keep looking for more good price action in the short term. Don't get too discouraged. The SPY has been coming up pretty well, though, the past week. I would keep looking at more bullish opportunities. I think leaning to the bull side is the way to go. Just don't do it in a dumb way. Been seeing lots of dumb things lately. Not even going to talk about one of them. SPY looking pretty solid. 566.50 coming into play. Watch for another break today. If you're sitting here and you're like, okay, Tom, I'm bored. Like what do I trade, right? What should I do today? Honestly, I would sit here and be patient with the SPY. And if we break the high of the day, go for a move up. If we fall, I would say just you can try to adapt into puts. I personally wouldn't. I would just sit out. But that's because my mindset and my tendency today and my bias is to the upside. So I'm not going to be playing puts, even if it does break down. Now, I could switch over to something else. That's where I would look to maybe play something down, would be something else. Like maybe TTWO even, you know, with the bad news. Maybe CVS, they're down quite a bit. If the SPY starts falling, we'll probably see Meta, Apple, Nvidia start pulling back off of resistance. You know, Meta is very close to $600. If we do see a solid rejection at 600, you could maybe play it down there. That would be a way to go. But looking at the SPY itself, very slow up here at the top. Just being patient for a breakout. If it doesn't come, I'll be watching for rejections on individual companies. I can't believe how many growth stocks are up over 10%. Pony AI is up 31% again. What the hell? Look at the daily on Pony. Pony AI, wow. What a jump. 1150, 1140, that is huge. Jerry said, what do you think about Hood today and into next week? You know, the earnings, it's actually reacted pretty well. It's holding its ground. I like it to the upside. I'll say this, though. For today, specifically, $50 is a huge resistance, okay? Very crucial. I like it up more next week, maybe later today, but it's reacting pretty heavily off 50 right now. So keep watching it down off of that resistance intraday today. But into next week, I could see it moving up. Whether that's a gap up into next week or what have you. That's what I'm looking for.
Cracky.
All right. Hood, very nice action today. ASTS, Pretty good too, 17%. Very good, actually. Better than I even thought. They really ripped above 25, my God. Look at the daily chart on ASTS. They are really coming back. A lot of these growth stocks are starting to recover up in some crazy ways. Look at QBTS here. Quantum. D-Wave Quantum. That is nuts. QUBT. Quantum Computing. $4 to $5. Really nice action. Any thoughts on CEP? I've never heard of this one. Cantor Equity Partners. Oh my God. Somebody might have brought it up to me last week, but my memory doesn't quite fit the bill with this one, but my God. My thoughts with this are that this is kind of like seeing a major pullback here. I'm looking for a big pullback on this one. This looks like a pump and dump if I've ever seen one. Like, it looks like the definition of a pump and dump. It's way too high in the short term compared to where it was. I don't know what's going on with this one. I never really heard of it. I gotta see the news, though. Holy shit. Okay. Okay, cool. They did their offering last year. Like, literally. Dude, is my news... Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. My news time thing was... Click the wrong way. That's a rip. Merger with Bitcoin firm 21 on April 30th. Okay. April 30th, they did a merger that helped them keep going. Holy shit, though. It popped up on like the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, so it's... Yep, they launched 21, a Bitcoin native company, through a business combination with Cantor Equity Partners. 21 is expected to offer investors a singular vehicle for Bitcoin exposure, pro-Bitcoin advocacy, and Bitcoin-focused content, and media with plans to explore future expansion into Bitcoin native financial products. Wow. Okay. Well, either way, quite the move. Cantor Equity Partners. Wow. What a run. Seems like they're getting into Bitcoin. Very interesting, though. They are on fire. It definitely, though, is one of those stocks that I don't think I would chase it too long. When it turns over, it's going to turn over hard in my eyes. I would love to revisit this one in 1 month and see how it shakes out. It's not necessarily worth it to short it, but it's one that I would definitely be wary of. Looks like a scam, Jake said. Tangy said looks sketchy AF. Yeah. Definitely looks sketchy for sure. They're copying MicroStrategy. I had that thought, Ryan. It sounded like something similar to that, like Coinbase or MicroStrategy, or more like MicroStrategy, it sounded like, but interesting. You know, I'll tell you what, MicroStrategy's on fire today. So is Coinbase. Those two stocks are killing it. Keep watching those to the upside. They look great. Looks like an NMAX Newsmax. $23 support on NMAX. It does kind of look like that, though. I see what you're saying on the pop. Yeah, something similar. You know, very close, I'd say. Good comparison. What's another one we could think of? I don't look at a lot of penny stocks anymore, but Brandon said, let's go SPY. Looking good. Holding 565 very well. I love looking at it more to the upside today. I definitely still lean to the bull side. I'm watching for a 570 touch over the next few trading days, or a push towards 570 would be awesome. I'm going to point an arrow here to the top. I pointed this out in last night's video as well. This was a previous peak. Very big level, 570. But all right, guys. We're probably going to call the stream there today. I appreciate you guys all joining up and sticking with us this week. Let's go. I definitely appreciate it. SPY is on fire. Keep watching for more breakout there. A lot of good growth stock price action coming into play. Working on some possible updates for the nightly videos today. That'll be fun. Maybe looking at some different things to do. Have a great weekend, though, everybody. 566.30 on the SPY, high of day today. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. This is different from the nightly videos, so it definitely helps us out there. If you're not yet in the trading floor, code BIGMONEY is still going on right now. Use code BIGMONEY for $100 off the yearly sub. Check it out. Just sent it in the chat. Code BIGMONEY at checkout will save you $100. We have a lot of tools in the Discord, from bots that call out day trades, the SPY Pulse Tracker, SM Bot, which is a screener pretty much. We have data trades, big money trades in there, even a commands channel where you can pretty much type in and get stats on so many stocks and data points. But have a great rest of your morning, a great rest of your Friday. Let's end the week strong, up in the green. Have a great one, guys. I will see you next week, or in the Discord today. Hopefully in the Discord. See ya.